So, what do you think? These are indispensable, these are imperative, and these are compulsory for human growth.
Yes, I say I do agree because most of the decisions I have made in terms of my personal life, in terms of my professional life, in hurdles. One of the hurdles that I can't forget because it hurt me a lot.
Okay, very good morning to you, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I am absolutely sitting fine and enjoy and thrive where I am planted. So, how is your day? Since it is the beginning, it is the beginning of the day.
My day was fantastic. I was able to spend some of my time on practicing English. I hope you have also done the same.
Being a mother, I have to do other things as well. So I had to do my household chores. Apart from that, I had to make my kids have breakfast also. So that was the part
Okay.
of my routine, you can say. So I am looking forward to have a very good conversation with you. So may I have a short this introduction of yours?
Absolutely. I'm Gopi. I'm from Tamil Nadu. I'm working as a technical support executive. I've been practicing English for the last 3 to 4 years, and I communicate with people through audio. In this year, I have implemented my video calls, especially I'm on YouTube channels. I'm providing collaboration videos to other people. I'm also maintaining my own channels. I'm maintaining around two channels so far. Mostly, I indulge in solo videos in my channel. Other than that, to keep up my self cheered, I watch lots of English movies, web series, and wrestling. I have this interest in wrestling. I would love to explore internet about wrestling and the current storylines. That's all about me. Thank you.
Very good introduction. I would say that you are quite familiar. You are quite, I can say that interested in the web series and the current line affairs. You can say that up to date, you've become up to date with the world affairs and the current affairs as well. So, the first question of me is that are you running two channels?
Sorry, could you please repeat that?
Yes, are you running two channels? What kind of content you are
Yes,
providing? On one channel you are
both
providing English content, and on the second channel what kind of content you are doing?
both are affiliated to spoken English. One is through English. Another one is English through my regional language, that is Tamil. I, teach words through Tamil language.
Okay, both are dedicated for spoken English, but one medium is only English and the second medium is bilingual. Okay, got it. So how do you think
Yes,
that
exactly.
what is rudimentary or what is imperative to speak English language? Is there any
I sorry.
specific technique
Continue,
which you
please.
are, yes, is there any specific technique which is unfamiliar and which is very much beneficial for spoken English learners?
I always stick up to thinking in English because mostly we can't get to see about this practice in most of the videos. In my spoken English journey, after implementing thinking practice, I was able to feel a huge difference in my spoken English level. And when I implemented it, I also got some advice from other YouTubers. Even though that particular topic was not very much familiar, still I was a bit lucky to explore such topic. I was a bit lucky to come across such topic. So I've been implementing this thinking practice for the last 3 4 years. Nowadays, I'm able to do it consistently. Even in some of my videos, I have registered about thinking practice. Some of my collaboration videos, I had put across about this thinking practice. This is very much important. Why? Because when it comes to spoken English, people mostly focus on four pillars such as reading, listening, writing, speaking. They forget about thinking. Why? Whenever we are speaking, thoughts are arising in our mind. That is the origin of everything. If I'm making hundreds of sentences in this video, all those thoughts were arising in our brain, right? So we need to train our brain. How can we train our brain? We need to train our brain by thinking. You need to put lots of input, and you have to train your brain with input. Just like data science, we are training our model through input. Just like that, we need to give lots of input to our brain to let it think in English. So that's what thinking practice is all about.
Okay. Once a learner is used to, accommodated, or accustomed to, habitual to thinking in English, then is it quite convenient for a learner to speak as well? Are speaking and thinking should go hand in hand? What What do you think?
Actually, thinking can help you around 80 percentage of time. Speaking has to be focused separately. I can't say if a person concentrates on thinking, can definitely speak in English. That's not going to work in that way. But thinking plays a major role, and speaking has to be given some importance. Why? Because your mouth muscle requires the familiarity for English words. For you, I think you must be good at Hindi and Urdu. I am good at Tamil. So Tamil words automatically comes in my mind. Mostly I don't stutter while speaking in Tamil. Nowadays, no, I mostly don't stutter while speaking in English as well. So, in order to answer to your question, I would say you have to give much importance to thinking and little bit of importance to speaking, because you must require the assistance of your tongue, pronunciation, enunciation, everything is there, right? So speaking has to be given some importance. But as I said, I give much importance to thinking, since that is the essential source of each and every sentence that we make.
Okay. Uh, Remarkably, you have presented that brain is the breeding ground for every thought. If breeding ground is prepared, then you can generate each and everything. Now, once a learner has prepared each and everything, he has put the invaluable and precious input in the brain, and now he is capable. A conversation is going on, a meeting is there, and or he has to just present himself before the audience. The audience is set now. He has a topic, he has a thought, he has ideas, everything in his brain now. Now, the difficulty would arise if he is not focusing on the speaking skills. That sometimes the confidence level would shake. How it would shake because he is not habitual to speak. Because speaking is as much important as thinking and everything else. So, would you think that at the spot it would be beneficial, it would be fruitful for the speaker to speak instantly if he is not quite habitual as he is habitual to thinking as well.
Okay, so you are trying to ask if a guy is good at speaking, but he's not so good at thinking. So what's going to happen at that case? Is it the question?
No, if the person is good at thinking, but he is not as good as at speaking because he has devoted so much time to thinking only, not to speaking. So, what would be the case? Because speaking covers a large area because your confidence level, your body language, your expressions, each and everything fall in the you can say the criteria of spoken English and speaking practice. But if a person has prepared himself in all the areas of thinking, but he has not given so much time to speaking, would you think that it would hinder his communication skills and that some way his ideas which are lingering in his brain cannot be conveyed in much effective way as he has assumed?
Okay. See, as I had already given answer to that, see, if a person who is good at speaking but he's not good at thinking, sorry, if a person who's good at thinking but he's not so good at speaking, in that case, he will be able to make good speech, but it wouldn't be as informative as possible, I would say. Why? Because everyone is knowledgeable, I believe 90% of people are knowledgeable, but there is a differences, or they don't know how to put their knowledge in a proper way. So if a person is so good at thinking, that itself is not going to make him a good communicator. So if I'm giving you a topic right now, within 5 minutes, I'm sure you're going to make amazing speech. right? If I give you a topic as education or work from home or politics, I'm telling you, you will be able to make it because you may have got a bit of experience speaking about all this. You may have lots of thoughts in your brain, but for by chance, if you have not spoken about it in the past, even though you have got lots of thoughts in your regional language, you must required, that ability to put each and everything is considered here. Your pronunciation, I know few people, they are better than me. Their knowledge in all the aspects are so great, but just because they have not spoken anything in English in their past, just because they have not trained themselves in the past, they find so much of difficulty to speak about these topic. Even if they speak for more than 1 or 2 minutes, that's it. They find so hard to reach 5 minutes of speech. So that's what, that's how I see, that's how it is, I believe. So to put it in simple way, both are required. But since I have traveled in this English speaking journey for the last 3 4 years, nowadays I'm giving much importance to thinking rather than speaking. uh, for example, if I'm giving 45 minutes of thinking, I give only 15 to 30 minutes of speaking. So I hope I have, made myself clear to you.
Yes, quite. You have made it clear in a very fantastic way because thinking is just like a factory area where things are processed and processing takes larger time. When a thing is furnished, when a thing is produced, it takes no time to be on display. So you are right that we have to just prepare ourselves before we present ourselves in the meetings or in conversations or on any other platform you can say. So my
Yes.
next question to you is that what do you think? Have you have been into this journey since 3 or 4 years? Now, what do you think that what is compulsory to speak in a confident way? Thinking is compulsory, speaking is compulsory. Is connecting with the people give you much exposure in terms of lexicon, in terms of linguistic dexterity, and all those things which are required? Because when we are interactive, we are having conversation, we do not absorb only the words, we do not only absorb only the lexicon, we also absorb so many things relating to expression. So, what would you prefer, the books, grammar books, or connection with the people?
Actually, I would prefer grammar, but grammar itself is not going to let you cross the boundary. To be honest, I used to practice a lot, especially grammar. I used to fall under the trap of many unproductive practices, such as watching movies. My journey started with grammar and watching movies. After a certain point of time, I realized that yes, those were the practice, but those were not as productive as speaking. Those were not as productive as speaking practice. So in this case, grammar has to be given some importance, but we should not engross ourselves into the grammar entire day. After I realized, I told myself, after 2 or 3 videos, I wouldn't watch related to grammar. I had the habit of watching grammatical videos every day. I just told myself, if I had watched 2 grammatical videos per day, that was more than enough, and I wouldn't let myself watch my third video. Because by watching grammatical videos, by learning grammar, we may get a lot of data, but until we put it into action, until we put it into the process, that will be of no use. Our human brain is not a computer. It's not going to save all the information for a long period of time. Until you process what you are learning, I know nothing is going to stay in your brain. So I would say start with grammar. There are some main grammar topics such as tenses, modal verbs, and 30 to 40 verbs. When I say verb, sleep, slept, slept. This is how we learn. Some people learn sleep. Okay, done. Move, done. That's not the case. They have to learn the word and its past form and its participle form. That's how, no. That's when they consider that they learned a word. So 50 vocabularies, tenses category, and modal verbs. This is more than enough for someone to get into the practice, and it is more than enough for someone to go to intermediate level from beginner, I would say. So if they check all these points clearly, I'm sure they don't have to concentrate a lot on grammar. If they are in the speaking process, by listening, they will they will get to improve their grammar part. And speaking of grammar books, yes, people can go for grammar books, but I would also say if they are clear with tenses and modal verbs, they had better go with self-help books, or apart from grammar books, that helps them to gain knowledge, and they can also perform well in a conversation. You mentioned one point in a clear way: connecting with people. No offense, I have few people in my network. Whenever I communicate with them, I feel they are so knowledgeable, but I find bit hard to connect with them thoroughly. In a way, I can't exceed the conversation for more than 25 minutes. But with few people, I have exceeded the conversation for more than 1 hour, because connectivity. That doesn't mean they speak whatever I want or I speak whatever they want. Even with different interest, I have communicated with certain people for a long period of time because of the connectivity that we can gain from books to certain level, I believe.
Yes. Great point. I would say that grammar books only give us the blueprints, I would say, only the
Yeah.
light. But actually, connection with the people or connectivity with the people gives life to the language. And
Mm.
it is paramount to speak with the people in order to gain the experience. And self-help books and grammar books are important in order to gain the
Uh,
basic knowledge. Because I have been
yes.
teaching since long 15 years, so into this habit of delivering grammar related content and all those things. So grammar is important because without the knowledge of grammar, it would not be fruitful to have a conversation confidently, because you are not aware where you are doing grammatical mistakes. But if you are well aware about grammatical mistakes, then you are confident. When you are confident, the graph of conversation will rise, certainly rise. And the second point,
Yes.
which you have rightly mentioned, that self-help books, any other books which other than grammatical books or grammar books will help you a lot, because when you are in a conversation, when you are doing any kind of connection with the people, you need arguments, you need ideas, you need, because as you have rightly mentioned, that you can exceed more than 1 hour or 2 hours based on your knowledge, how much knowledge you have
Yeah.
accumulated over the period of time, or the ideas. On the basis of those ideas, you can convert. But if this bucket is empty with the ideas, how can you communicate with the other people? So
Yeah.
it is dispensable. So what was your English journey? How did you master this language? How have you accumulated? And what do you think that advanced vocabulary words, slurry words, and so too many idiomatic expressions make a person fluent, or make it a complicated case? What do you think?
Um, Sorry, could you please repeat the question once again?
Yes. My question is that what do you think, as you have been into this language since 3 or 4 years, and now
Mm.
what do you think that what was your journey of English language, and how many tips and tricks you have followed? The one trick was thinking in English. Any other tips and tricks which you have followed and which could can be beneficial for the English learner? And the second thing is that using too many advanced words, slurry words, idiomatic expressions make a person fluent, revered, respected, or it makes your speech complicated because you are too much focused on using those expressions.
Yeah. Actually, the important aspect in my journey was thinking practice. Apart from that, I always maintain this balance. See, you believe it or not, I personally consider 95 percentage of people do not have control over themselves. If they like something, they will go all for it. If I come across any grammatical concept or any grammatical idea, I just spend 5 to 6 hours on the single day, and the next day I may not be able to find the same interest. So the huge turning point in my turning point in my spoken English journey was when I found the control over myself. I was able to focus on each and every part of practice. I was able to allocate my time on each and every set of practice in English only after that point. So that's what made me to speak like this. Earlier, if I would speak for 3 to 4 hours a day, and the next 6 days I wouldn't be speaking. If I would practice grammar for one day, and the next 6 days wouldn't be any sort of grammatical practice. That was so lame, I believe, and I still feel sad for wasting my time like that. Till today, that guilt is hunting me a little. Nowadays, I'm focusing on everything on a single day to limited basis, like half an hour of speaking, half an hour of thinking, 15 minutes of reading, and learning as well. So that's what's going to help beginners and intermediates to go to the next level. Find control over yourself. Just don't get excited for everything, and bad days will come. Even I have mentioned this in one of my other videos. Each and every 4 days, I feel so sad for why I'm speaking English, why I have chosen this journey. Because my bad days sometimes lets me think, have I taken a wrong decision, or have I chosen some other art, or is my grammar literally improving? Am I speaking in a good way? Do people like my spoken English? All these self doubts arise in my mind. Nowadays, I'm able to conquer that, but in the past, once the thought arised, the entire day and the next few days would be completely dark to me. For that, I had to watch one motivation video on YouTube and get myself into the practice again. So the important aspect in my spoken English journey was when I found the control. Even if I have bad day nowadays, I know I'll be able to turn it into a good one the next day. That's how I don't indulge a lot. I just practice speaking and thinking and reading only till the allocated time. I don't exceed more than that. So that's what's going to build a person to achieve in this spoken English journey. That's it.
Yes, self-control is very much important. And if we are dedicating the whole day with one thing, the other thing, it is natural and it is natural propensity of human beings that it becomes difficult to just regain the same interest. But if you are doing the small amount, but the regular amount of time to that specific thing, then it becomes easy for you to go to that routine again and activity. Certainly,
Yes, exactly.
you should not swarm yourself with so many ideas and so much time that other day you are so exhausted, you are so drained out that you are not going to pursue it again. So
Yeah.
self-control is very much important, and certainly in all areas, like we are YouTubers, we are posting videos. Sometimes there are dark days in terms of views. We are not getting views, then we demotivated. So we get some motivation other day and we start posting the videos again. So dark days
Yeah.
are the part of life, and any hurdle which you have faced during this
Any
journey.
hurdle?
Yes, any hurdle which you have faced, and
Any
how did you conquer that hurdle?
Okay, hurdle. There were lots of hurdles. One of the hurdles that I can't forget because it hurt me a lot. Right? When you are in the network, people would love to communicate with other people who are advanced. So when I was a beginner, I got connected with few people who were advanced, and unfortunately, I was not able to give a nice experience to them in the conversation. So I was being avoided. I was completely avoided by those people, and I got to know about that avoidance. That is the horrible stuff. I got to know about that avoidance. Then I realized, okay, Gopi, people, if I'm a beginner, I surely want to communicate with intermediators. If I'm an intermediator, I want to communicate with advanced level speaker, and they would also think the same. The opposite person would also think the same. Intermediator always wanted to communicate with advanced level speaker. This truth hurt me a lot. So I had to work a little. I had to find like-minded people. I had to find, I had to find advanced level speaker who were also interested in communicate with the beginners. Fortunately, by God's grace, I got to meet few people, and they helped me out, and they are still in my journey. I'm still communicating with them. So this is something I found as a huge hurdle that hurt me mentally as well. Uh, so 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 this is what I say. Speaking of my current spoken English hurdle, uh, vocabularies. I'm so weak at vocabulary. Okay, I don't use advanced words, even though there is no necessity. But still, when we are in 3 to 4 years of journey, we have to explore the category of vocabulary as well. That is something I'm finding lots of difficulty in it. So I'm working on it. So these are the two hurdles. My mental hurdle with people who wanted to communicate with selective people, and my grammatical hurdle with vocabulary. These are the two things I'm still fighting against.
Yes, rightly mentioned. And I think it's my personal perception. You may agree or you may not agree that these kind of negative hurdles or these kind of negative aspects where we are ignored immensely and we know that we are ignored. These are the building, this is the building time of our personality. And I personally believe that if these moments are not in our life, we would not have just worked on our personality. Because this is just like a furnace. And through that furnace, we are shaped into a desired, you can say, the shape. But if these are not there, how would we work on our communication skills? If your experience went well, then you would not have exceeded or you would not have come forward to that extent. So, what do you think? These are indispensable, these are imperative, and these are compulsory for human growth.
Yes, I say I do agree, because most of the decisions I have made in terms of my personal life, in terms of my professional life, in terms of my spoken English journey, all those were made in my tough times when my life was down in the dumps. I have taken few decisions. I'm feeling so happy about those decisions today. Even my channels, I'm running those channels for the last 6 months. I started the channel when I had a bad day, and after that my bad day disappeared and I became inactive from my channel. For the last 1 month I've been posting one video, sorry, for the last 1 month I've been posting few videos in my channel because I had been going through some bad moments in my life. So hurdles are necessary. Hurdles are going to build you up. Hurdles are going to motivate you, that no such videos on YouTube will do. So you have to embrace the hurdle. Yes, when you face the hurdle, you may feel bad about it. You may question God. You may have doubts on your no, your own skill. But if you analyze the hurdle, if you accept the truth, if you start brainstorming how to come out of this hurdle, I'm telling you, sometime in the future you will feel so happy about your action during those hurdles. So never lose your hope, and whatever the decision you take in hurdle, that is surely going to impact you a lot. That impacted in my life, so that's why I'm saying this.
Yes, and it is very good quality of human being that when he is suffering from those hurdles or those difficulties or tough times, when it seems to survive difficult, and but
Mm.
he is taking decisions. So it is the right time of decision for you. That whether you make a good decision or whether you are just involved in lamenting in just cursing that why I am in that position or why should I not have that chance and that opportunity to take this and that? But apart from or while doing all these things, putting aside, you are taking the decision now. You are taking wiser decisions, and those wiser decisions make your life a far better than you are right now. So,
Yes, agree.
yes, rather than lamenting, we should not give hope, and we should always be optimistic about our future goals. Some days are there which are just like the rainy season. Rainy season gives us a lot of opportunities as well as a lot of difficulties. because we have to go outside and we have to do a lot of things. But it doesn't mean it is just like a winter season, just like snow, frost is there, everything is there, and we avoid to just go outside because of frost and because of winter season. But uh, if there is winter season, surely there will be the spring season as well. When there will be the flowers in the garden, and you will love to just roam in the garden and sit and just listen the chirping sounds of the birds. But for that, you have to wait. You have to have
Yes.
patience for the right moment. But it doesn't mean that you have to just wait and wait and wait and do not work, do any kind of work. You are supposed to do all kind of work which is in your hands. So it was a blissful conversation with you, and I learned a lot.
Okay.
And if you have any question and query, you can ask, because I started the conversation prior to the conversation, because I am not a tech savvy person, so I have to manage each and everything. And prior to the 20 to 20 minutes, I was just waiting for that. And it is my usual routine that prior to 15 minutes, I just start the conversation in order to avoid any kind of mishappening.
Okay, all right. Actually, I was also thinking why this person was texting me at 10 o'clock since the time was fixed at 10:15. I also broke my phone. Before starting the meeting, I was trying my level best to fix it in the stand, so it fell down. And I have completed one task for my parents, and they were asking me questions while in the middle of my meeting. Anyway, I like the habit of yours, so that we will be able to start the meeting at right time and we will be able to end it. I love it. So I literally enjoyed the whole conversation, and I want to know a little bit about you, since you piled up with lots of questions. Those were literally occupying and fantastic. I didn't get a chance to ask you some question. You can just answer it in a simple way. So about your life, are you teaching English to any
Yes,
students?
yes, I have my teaching career started since 15 years long back.
Mm,
I have started coaching to master's classes in language and linguistics at New England College before my marriage. And after getting
mm,
married, I started teaching at Bahia Foundation College as head of department in English and history. Now I have joined
okay.
Convent Institute, and I am also running my YouTube channel. So
Mm,
that is all
okay.
about me.
That is great. I'm mesmerized with some of the videos that you had posted in your channel. Even I wanted to text you. Fortunately, I received a message from your side. Thank you for it, and thank you for making this meeting possible. And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I am looking forward to have many more conversations, because sometimes the other person's ideas are quite relatable to you and you want to talk to
Yeah,
them. So you are one of
yeah.
them. Thank you so much for connecting with me and be on my channel. Thank you so much. And I wish you to flourish in your life. And I wish you that you should also continue the conversational videos to explore, because you have much potential and you have to explore that potential also. And if you have worked very hard, certainly you have worked very hard throughout your those dark periods of your life. Now it's the time to thrive for you. So wish you best of luck for your near future. Thank you so much.
Same to you, and thank you for having me here, and have a fantastic day.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye. I love.